one of the concerns that came up a lot in the discussions about the comprehensive plan update regarded the multi-use, and that it's been primarily single use. And I know that, for example, in the Union Corridor, we're not seeing it in Lakewood, although we do see it in other parts of Colorado and Denver, where we have the commercial on the bottom and the housing on top. And I've heard from staff that they haven't been attracting those developers, even though they do exist. And I also understand that it could be within a certain region, right? We have housing in one area, we have grocery stores in another area, we have businesses, so that it can be walkable. But I think unless we define a boundary, and I didn't see any discussion about that, and that came up consistently by a lot of folks in these meetings, and I didn't see it in the draft, and I didn't see it in the zoning, which we'll talk about later. But I think that's a really important piece, is to define the boundaries within those areas, because we can get Solterra after Solterra, or big 300-plex apartment buildings all lined up. I just passed what used to be the old Target on the way to Lowe's today, and this is just a lot of buildings, but where's the grocery store? And so I think supporting area planning in a city and the walkability goals, unless we can define, we're going to infill everything with housing, and we're not going to have grocery stores, and that's going to force everybody to have cars, and it's totally against the walkable neighborhoods. It's just against, it's so contradictory to many of the goals that are listed here. So I guess that's maybe one of my most significant concerns or feedback, is that we don't fill in everything with just housing, that we need to create this community. And we did have some comments that came in that talked about neighborhood mom and pop stores, so that you can walk or you can bike to the store to get groceries. And I feel like there hasn't been enough focus on food, which is so critical for folks. And we're never going to deal with the car problem unless we deal with having food, restaurants, and whatnot intermixed within these neighborhoods. So really hope you'll take that into consideration, because it seemed to be lacking.